The birth of the creation of the world. Introduction to Raphael and Renaissance art. Raphael, a master of the Renaissance. Welcome to the world of Raphael, one of the most famous artists of the Renaissance. Raphael, whose full name was Raffaello Sanzio da Urbino, was an Italian painter and architect. He lived during a period known as the Renaissance, a time of great change and creativity in Europe, especially in the arts. What was the Renaissance? The Renaissance, which means rebirth in French, was a period in European history from the 14th to the 17th century. It was a time when art, literature, science, and philosophy flourished. People started to explore new ideas and ways of thinking, moving away from the more rigid and religious-focused Middle Ages. The Renaissance was a time of awakening in Europe. Artists began to focus more on human experiences and emotions, and their works often reflected the beauty and complexity of the natural world. There was a shift towards realism in art, and artists started using new techniques to make their paintings more lifelike. Advancements in various fields. During the Renaissance, there was also significant progress in other areas like literature, where writers like Shakespeare explored human nature in their plays and poems. In science, figures like Galileo and Copernicus challenged old beliefs and made new discoveries about our universe. Philosophy saw the rise of humanism, a way of thinking that emphasized the value and agency of human beings. Impact of the Renaissance on society. The Renaissance had a profound impact on European society. It changed the way people thought about the world and their place in it. The ideas and discoveries of this time laid the foundation for modern science, politics, art, and education. It was an era that celebrated creativity, individualism, and human achievement. Raphael's art, in the context of the Renaissance. In this setting, Raphael emerged as a prominent figure. His works embodied the ideals of the Renaissance. Through his paintings, we can see the emphasis on realism, the exploration of perspective, and the celebration of human beauty and emotion. Looking ahead. As we move forward in our story, we will see how The Creation of the World by Raphael is not just a masterpiece of art, but also a representation of the Renaissance spirit. This painting, like many others from the era, tells a story about the time it was created and the revolutionary shift in thinking that defined the Renaissance. Background of The Creation of the World. The story behind Raphael's masterpiece. As we delve into Raphael's The Creation of the World, it's important to understand the background of this magnificent piece. This part of our story looks at the history, context, and significance of the painting, the commission and purpose. The creation of the world was created during a time when art was often commissioned by the church or by wealthy patrons. These artworks were usually intended for public spaces, like churches, or for private collections of the rich and powerful. Raphael, already known for his skill and creativity, was commissioned to create this work, which was meant to convey religious themes and stories. The Renaissance context. Created during the peak of the Renaissance, this painting reflects the era's fascination with religious themes, blended with a renewed interest in classical antiquity. During this time, artists were encouraged to depict biblical scenes and stories, interpreting them with a sense of realism and human emotion that was characteristic of Renaissance art. Location and original setting. The creation of the world was originally painted for a specific location, which played a significant role in its design and composition. These settings were often grand, such as chapels, palaces, or large public buildings, which allowed artists like Raphael to create large-scale works that were both impressive and influential. Raphael's inspiration. In creating The Creation of the World, Raphael was inspired by both religious texts and the world around him. He drew on the stories from the Bible and the knowledge of the time about the natural world. His work was also influenced by other artists of his era, incorporating and building upon the artistic developments that were occurring during the Renaissance. The setting for the masterpiece. The creation of the world was likely intended for a prominent religious or public space, which was common for artworks of this magnitude during the Renaissance. These spaces were not just places for worship or public gathering, but also served as showcases for artistic achievement and expressions of wealth and power. The location of an artwork significantly influenced its design, as it had to complement and enhance the surrounding architecture and decor. Raphael's unique style. Raphael had a distinctive style that set his work apart. He was known for his ability to create figures that were both idealized and deeply human. His use of color, light, and shadow brought his paintings to life, making the scenes and characters he depicted feel real and relatable. In the creation of the world, Raphael's style would have been evident in the expressive faces of the figures, the realistic drapery of their clothing, and the harmonious composition of the scene. Influence of the Renaissance. The Renaissance era was marked by a shift towards realism and human-centered art. Artists like Raphael were at the forefront of this movement. They combined techniques from classical art with new methods and perspectives. In the creation of the world, this would have been reflected in the realistic portrayal of figures and the use of perspective to create a sense of depth and space. A reflection of its time, the creation of the world not only showcases Raphael's artistic talents, but also reflects the values and ideas of the Renaissance. It represents a time when art was seen as a way to explore and express human experiences, emotions, and the natural world. Through this painting, Raphael contributed to a cultural movement that celebrated human achievement and creativity. Exploring the artwork itself. A closer look at the creation of the world. In this section, we delve into the details of Raphael's The Creation of the World, exploring its composition, colors, and the figures that bring this masterpiece to life. Composition and layout. The Creation of the World is a complex work with a well-thought-out composition. Raphael skillfully arranged the figures and elements to guide the viewer's eye across the painting. The composition likely follows a harmonious and balanced layout, characteristic of Raphael's style. In Renaissance art, the arrangement of figures and objects in a painting was crucial in telling a story and conveying a message. Color and use of light. Raphael was known for his masterful use of color and light. In The Creation of the World, he likely used vibrant colors to depict the various elements of the creation story. The way he painted light would have added depth and dimension to the scene, highlighting certain figures and aspects of the story. The use of light and shadow in Renaissance paintings was important in creating a sense of realism and drama. Figures and facial expressions. One of the most striking aspects of Raphael's work is his depiction of human figures. The characters in The Creation of the World are likely portrayed with expressive faces, showing a range of emotions that draw the viewer into the story. Raphael's ability to capture human emotion in his paintings was one of the reasons he was so admired during the Renaissance. Symbolism and themes. The Creation of the World is rich in symbolism and themes. Raphael would have used various elements in the painting to symbolize different aspects of the creation story and convey deeper meanings. The placement of figures, the objects they hold, and their actions all contribute to the overarching theme of the divine creation of the world. Symbolism in the painting. Raphael, like many artists of the Renaissance, used symbolism to add layers of meaning to his work. In The Creation of the World, various elements within the painting likely symbolize different aspects of the biblical creation story. For example, light and dark might be used to represent the creation of day and night, and the positioning of figures could symbolize the order of creation. Themes of creation and divinity. At the heart of The Creation of the World is the theme of creation itself, the divine act of bringing the world into existence. Raphael would have portrayed this with a sense of awe and reverence, highlighting the power and grace of the divine. The artwork possibly captures the momentousness of creation, showing the beauty and complexity of the world. Reflection of Renaissance ideals. The themes and symbols in The Creation of the World reflect the ideals of the Renaissance. This period in art history was marked by a renewed interest in classical mythology and religious stories, portrayed with a humanistic approach. Raphael's depiction of the creation story would have been both a nod to classical influences and a celebration of humanistic ideals, showing a harmonious blend of the divine and the human. The artistic techniques of Raphael. In portraying these themes and symbols, Raphael would have employed various artistic techniques. His use of perspective, for instance, might have added depth to the scene, making the viewer feel part of the creation story. His technique in rendering the human form, graceful and idealized yet full of emotion, would have brought the characters in the story to life. Raphael's artistic techniques. Exploring Raphael's approach to art. In this section, we delve into the artistic techniques used by Raphael in The Creation of the World, understanding how his methods contributed to making this work a masterpiece of the Renaissance. Mastery of perspective. One of Raphael's most notable skills was his mastery of perspective. This technique involves creating a sense of depth and three-dimensionality on a flat canvas. In The Creation of the World, Raphael likely used perspective to give the viewer the illusion of looking into a real space, making the scene more lifelike and engaging. The way he arranged figures and elements in the painting would have created a sense of distance and proximity, drawing the viewer's eye into the heart of the creation story. Use of color and light. Raphael was known for his brilliant use of color and light. His ability to blend colors smoothly and his thoughtful placement of light and shadow would have brought a vibrancy and realism to The Creation of the World. The colors in the painting might have been used to highlight important figures or elements, helping to convey the mood and message of the artwork. Rendering of human forms. Raphael's depiction of human figures was unparalleled. He had the ability to paint people in a way that was both idealized and deeply realistic. In this painting, the figures would have been portrayed with graceful poses and expressive faces, conveying the emotions and significance of the creation event. Raphael's talent in rendering the human form brought a sense of elegance and beauty to his works, making them relatable and appealing to viewers. Innovative use of techniques. Raphael's work during the Renaissance was groundbreaking. He often experimented with new ways of arranging compositions and was adept at creating emotionally resonant scenes. His innovation wasn't just in using new techniques, but also in how he combined them. In The Creation of the World, the way Raphael merged perspective, color, and human form would have been a perfect example of his ability to bring together different elements to create a harmonious and impactful piece. Influence on future art. Raphael's techniques had a significant influence on artists who came after him. His use of perspective and composition became a guide for other painters. The way he painted people, with a focus on emotional expression and physical beauty, set a standard for portrait painting. Raphael's work, including The Creation of the World, not only reflected the ideals of the Renaissance, but also helped shape the future of Western art. Impact and legacy. The enduring influence of Raphael's The Creation of the World. In this section, we examine the impact and legacy of Raphael's The Creation of the World, exploring how this masterpiece has influenced the art world and its lasting significance. Influence on contemporary art. Raphael's The Creation of the World made a significant impact on the art world of his time. The painting's innovative approach to composition, use of color, and portrayal of figures inspired many contemporary artists. Raphael's ability to convey deep emotions and stories through his art was particularly influential. His techniques in perspective and realism were adopted and adapted by other artists, contributing to the evolution of Renaissance art. A lasting legacy in art history. The legacy of The Creation of the World extends far beyond Raphael's lifetime. This masterpiece is often studied for its artistic excellence and as an example of Renaissance art at its peak. Raphael's work has been an important reference for art students and professionals, helping to shape the standards and practices of Western art. Raphael's role in the Renaissance. Raphael's contribution to the Renaissance was not just in his artworks, but also in how he embodied the spirit of the era. His work reflects the Renaissance ideals of beauty, balance, and humanism. The Creation of the World, with its harmonious composition and human-centric portrayal, is a testament to these ideals. Preservation and continued relevance. Over the centuries, The Creation of the World has been preserved and remains a significant piece in the study of art history. Its continued relevance is seen in how it still resonates with audiences today. The painting is not only a window into the past, but also a source of inspiration, showing the timeless beauty and power of art. Reception and interpretation in modern times. In the modern era, The Creation of the World continues to be admired for its artistic merit and historical significance. Art historians and enthusiasts alike study the work to gain insights into Raphael's techniques and the artistic trends of the Renaissance. The painting is often seen as a bridge between the past and present, providing a link to a pivotal time in art history. Educational value. The Creation of the World serves as an important educational tool. In art classes and history courses, it is used to illustrate the skills and creativity of Renaissance artists, particularly Raphael. It helps students understand the evolution of artistic techniques and the cultural context in which these masterpieces were created. Inspiration for contemporary artists. Raphael's work, including the creation of the world, continues to inspire contemporary artists. His approach to composition, detail, and emotion in painting remains influential. Modern artists often look to Raphael's techniques for inspiration, particularly his ability to blend realism with idealism and his skillful use of color and light. Raphael's influence can be seen in various forms of art, from traditional painting to digital artwork, a symbol of artistic achievement. The creation of the world stands as a symbol of artistic achievement and the enduring legacy of the Renaissance. It represents a high point in artistic expression, where technical skill, cultural richness, and creative vision came together. This painting is not just a piece of history, it's a source of ongoing admiration and inspiration. Raphael's The Creation of the World is more than just a masterpiece. It is a testament to the enduring power of art. It captures the spirit of the Renaissance, a time of extraordinary creativity and exploration. For centuries, it has influenced artists, educated students, and delighted audiences, securing its place as one of the most significant works in the history of art. Conclusion. Understanding Raphael and Renaissance through the creation of the world. Reflecting on Raphael's masterpiece. As we conclude our journey through Raphael's The Creation of the World, we reflect on what this remarkable painting teaches us about Raphael, the Renaissance, and the enduring power of art. Raphael's artistic genius. The Creation of the World is a testament to Raphael's artistic genius. His ability to convey complex themes through compelling composition, lifelike figures, and vibrant colors demonstrates why he is considered one of the great masters of the Renaissance. This painting is not only a display of his technical skill, but also of his deep understanding of human emotion and the natural world. A window into the Renaissance. This masterpiece offers us a window into the Renaissance, an era of unparalleled creativity and exploration. Through Raphael's work, we gain insights into the values and ideas of the time. The Renaissance was a period that celebrated human potential and the beauty of the natural world, and the creation of the world encapsulates these themes brilliantly. The timeless appeal of art. The creation of the world continues to captivate audiences centuries after its creation. Its enduring appeal lies in its universal themes and the timeless beauty of its execution. Raphael's work reminds us that art has the power to transcend time and place, connecting us with different eras and cultures. A legacy of inspiration. Raphael's The Creation of the World leaves a legacy of inspiration. It continues to inspire new generations of artists and art lovers. The painting is a reminder of the incredible achievements of the Renaissance and the ongoing potential for human creativity. In closing, The Creation of the World by Raphael is more than just a piece of art. It is a celebration of human achievement and creativity. It represents the pinnacle of Renaissance art and continues to be a source of awe and inspiration. Through this painting, we can appreciate not only Raphael's extraordinary talent, but also the enduring beauty and significance of Renaissance art.